Rnotation.
Check, check. Check, check. Wiggity whack. Let's bring the dreadlocks out for this video. Big news is today is my birthday, August the 3rd. And today I turned 39. And I figured what a better way than to celebrate this day than with a dreadlock review and just connecting with the chat. Let's look at some pictures on Reddit. The Reddit community has been growing over the past little while. Super excited to see that we're almost at 7,000 Redditors over on that channel. It is the main place to submit your dreadlock videos, photos, and journeys. And it's funny nowadays is that Reddit, especially that Reddit page, is where, you know, if I post a video between Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, Reddit gets the most views these days. But anyways, we are on r/Rnotation. One thing I want to just say about this Reddit group, there has been a big influx of just toxic negativity coming into this group. Very similar, the same influx as what happened with the YouTube Shorts when they took off on this channel. And I've just been kind of upset and off-put by it all. So over here on r/Rnotation, there is a zero tolerance policy. If I see anybody talking smack, being negative, just disregarding other people's dreadlocks, gatekeeping because of somebody's skin color, instant ban, not allowed to comment or post in the subreddit anymore. There's no tolerance for any sort of hatred or negativity or toxicity in this group. So just be forewarned if you are heading over to this group. Be nice to each other. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. It's very that simple. So 4-year journey. Damn, these are crazy. The 4-year dreadlock journey of Shroom Shooter. Very interesting. Very interesting. These remind me of my own Congos at certain parts of this journey. Super thick. You know, he's definitely got only like a few dreads on his head. I even see some beads mixed into some of these locks as well. Very cool. And for 4 years, that is quite the impressive progression as well. You can tell that his hair grows really fast, and you know, lots of frizzy hair. Congos have thickened up. These are going to be insane another 4 years down the road from now. Old post with picture starting semi-freeform from long 4C hair. Crazy. So from the afro, working towards those freeform locks. It'll take some time, but it'll work. 4 months in, just some short dreads. Little dread fro here at 4 months. It's working. Now it's very interesting to see where the 4 months takes all the way to the 4-year mark. Redefining a good hair day. That's what we need to do, is redefine these moments. Redefine the stereotypes of what society puts on dreadheads and neatness and a good hair day and a bad hair day. Hello, is this normal? Kind of hard to see. Oh, so he's talking about the shedding of his hair And I would say it is quite normal. When I hop out the shower, and my dreads have been washed, there's a lot of shedding that happens. It could be to a concerning point, but you got to remember that when dreadlocks form, it's our hair actually shedding but being retained in the lock itself. So it's only normal for it to shed out when under a washing regimen like this. Getting these back, yo, that looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. I love how my baby dreads are looking. Yeah, those look crazy. No matter the hair type, you know, all hair will lock up eventually, especially when cold water rinsing, residue-free shampooing. It's a beautiful process, I must admit. So these are insane. I saw these the other day and I was just blown away with how these have been turning out. Massive freeforms, massive Congos. Very interesting look. There is a lot of insects out here right now. So my favorite picture on these is actually this first one where it kind of shows that big flat happening right on the side of his head. This was a advice post. This guy was just looking for advice on what to do about this dreadlock that just randomly formed on the back of his head. In a pretty good state. It has a good formation. He wanted to know if he should like crochet the loop and like try to form the lock better, but honestly I just say just leave it how it is and let the rest of your hair lock up by keeping it washed and cold watered. So this is a post from myself. It was my new look, new vibes flow, showing that I did trim my hair recently. And you know, I've just been tired of the length and the weight and the heat, especially in the heat wave that passed through this last month. It was just unbearable in a lot of situations. Personally, I don't like it when my hair gets caught on my back, between chairs, on my shoulder, on my elbows, when I'm laying down in bed. So I wanted to put it back to a manageable length, which for me is right where it's at. This has always been my optimal and favorite length for dreadlocks. So I did make a chop, allowing now for them to grow back out once again, you know, and it was hard to decide that I wanted to do this, but I just realized, you know, hair will grow back. If I cut these now and they look bad, or if I cut them too short, they'll just grow back out again. So it's not anything lost. Free forms of 1C, 2A Filipino hair. So he does have a little bit of a thicker and a curlier texture here. Now again, it will take a little bit longer for these to freeform, but it will happen. Just keep them washed once a week, keep the cold water and air drying them, and it definitely will work. I can already see that it is working in this photo, in this video. Just takes time and patience. That's cool that it is. The process has begun already. The Filipino dreads. Now the back's probably locking up a lot quicker than the rest, mainly due to, you know, sleeping patterns. A lot of people sleep on the back with their head, the back of their head rested on the pillow for the majority of the night. Made 5 years without a retwist. That's a big up accomplishment. You know, coming from a retwisted background, people, it's like, not myself, but I know when people come from a retwisted background, it's hard to accept the fact of never going back to see a loctician. So it's always cool to see people embrace that side of the journey and, you know, dropping the tools, dropping the maintenance, and just letting it take on a course of its own to see how they turn out. Relaxing at home, 22-year natty dreads, feeling good at 62. Loving the grays, 22 years. I think she's had them trimmed within those 22 years. It's always hard to now debacle how long my dreadlock journey is. It's like when people ask me how long I've had these dreads, and I say, you know, over 10 and a half years, but they're this length, it doesn't quite add up. It's just a funny feeling. It's nothing, it's no big deal. It's just a funny feeling to say that, and that the 10 years doesn't show the length in them. These are 4 years in. We've got that blonde dread on the side. Lots of finger type dread tips. Tied back in a bun. Looking dope. Wicked journey. Loving the different shapes going on here. 4-year update in my Freeform Locs. Looking thick and natty. I like to see the interesting tone difference between the tips and the new growth here. You know, obviously this can take place naturally, more from the sun and just the hair drying out over time. But it looks good. So this guy says here he's getting there. These are actually pretty unique. These look these look rather fascinating. I've never seen someone's dreadlocks look like this with the high top, you know, and you can see that it's matting up a lot on the scalp. So I mean, these are set to be a very unique pair or a very unique set of dreads. I mean, they already are really unique. What fascinates and captivates me about these is the texture, how they look so smooth. That's crazy. Hardest freeforms at 3 years. 3 years, you know, it's a fun stage in the journey because, you know, the hair is pretty wild. You know, it's still got a mind of its own. It's just becoming more tamed. You know, it's just becoming at that length where they start to drop down. About 1 week in. Crazy. And for 1 week, honestly, like, you can kind of see some progression. There might have been the use of a crochet hook around in this first week, but I think if he just leaves these alone for the years to come, they will definitely form into freeform dreadlocks. Helping people who don't understand how my dreads are. You know, and this guy was basically explaining how, you know, even though they're not visible as much through the camera, his hair is locking up. Again, this guy might have twisted some and crocheted some a little bit to start, but his point of the video is that, you know, his hair is starting to form naturally in some areas, and, you know, truth be told, with time and patience, cold water rinsing, the shampooing, keeping them clean and free of, like, you know, oils and grease, they will form over time. And, you know, a lot of people don't tend to understand this, that all hair does lock up eventually. This is one of the highest rated posts on the subreddit to this date. 18 years of dreadlocks. Every year taking the same photo with a friend. Insane. You know, this photo is not just 18 years of dreads growing, this is 18 years of friendship as well. And then at the end of it, he finally cut his hair after 18 years without any trims. Like, insane. Like, even just the dedication of taking this photograph every year in the same spot with the same clothing, with the same people, it's nuts. You know, and to show that length, to carry around that length is really an accomplishment in its own. 2.5 years, a lot of frizziness going on at the top here, a lot of frizziness. And you can see the congos on like the fingertips, kind of like a bulbous, I wouldn't say like a blunted tip, but like it's a naturally blunted tip. Find a career where dreads are acceptable. This is a big saying. And you know, it's a lot more lenient these days. 20 years ago, it wasn't as accepted, but yes, it's true. Find a career that is accepted of dreadlocks. You know, and a lot of the times developing your own skill set really helps with this. You know, be of value to the world and society. Have a skill set that is irreplaceable, and master that skill set, and you'll always have work. Just a matter of finding your place in the world. So definitely some good advice there. Texture Tuesday. Very interesting texture. He's got like that frosted tips going on here. Crazy. Some thickness coming in here too. And of course, like one of the biggest telltale signs of freeform dreadlocks is no separation at the scalp. There's no parting going on. You know, usually don't see the scalp so much. 2.5 months of freeforms in that crazy stage. The freshly buds starting to happen. So there's a lot to change from this point moving forward. And you know, this is a big part of the journey. This is crazy here too. 36 years of dreadlocks. He's got the length so long, he's got to wrap them over his shoulders so they don't touch the ground. Some true dedication here. Man's getting up on the step ladder to show us the length. Crazy. Now I'm wondering if these have been freeform all this time or retwisted. They are on like the thinner diameter side. Freeform dreadlocks don't normally come in so cylindrical and uniform like this, but I don't think that's really the important case here of whether or not, or what his process has been, but more so the length and the dedication of not trimming your hair after 36 years. Like, that's insane. There's so many implications that come across with lengths of hair this long. Personally, I couldn't do it, but not to say that it isn't for everybody. Day 107, these look like they're taking form as well. The curly textured hair working its wonders here. And I don't think this dude's gonna have any problems sorting these into freeforms along the way. You know, they will start to combine together, you know, and there's already like some loops and some kinks happening here. So it'll work. It's gonna work. And lastly here, 8 years lock-in, 1.5-ish years semi-freeform. So he's just converting over to the semi-freeform side. You know, there is one more step to get over to that fully freeform side. And it's good to see people making that transition. These are pretty wild. These remind me of Basquiat. And it looks like they've changed a lot over the years as well. Very cool. Update, I decompressed the wicks. I don't even know what he means by decompressed. Interesting. But you can see how on his hair you can see some parting and some separation, meaning that, you know, there might have been some maintenance done there. And this is 360 of my hair. Very cool color tones going on here. Very cool. High top dreads journey. High top dreads are still good. You know, high top dreads used to be really big at one point. Everybody wanted the high top dreads. Oh, and this is just another video of mine, the dreadlock mullet. So this is kind of what's going on the back, on the nape of my hair. I got like a big mullet type of dreadlock going on back there, which is, it's interesting. I did separate it a little bit, but right now the width of this dreadlock is the entirety of the back of my head. And it feels weird when wind blows on it. Because normally when wind blows in dreads, like, you know, you can kind of feel them separated, but this one, it kind of catches like a sail on a boat. It's crazy. It's wild. Okay, so basically ending that video there. And you know, I just want to thank everybody that's been around on this channel over the years, that's still dropping by watching these videos. You know, I've obviously been a little bit more reluctant on uploading these days, but I still do have it in me to produce some content every once in a while. You know, just obviously not on that everyday grind right now with it. I've been focusing on just making a career of my own within society, you know, the regular 9-to-5 type shit, even though it's not a 9-to-5, but I'm doing some good work in the energy related field, the energy efficiency field, and I've been working towards getting fully licensed in energy advising. So far I've passed one exam. I'm still studying now for my second exam, which I'm hopefully taking and passing this month. So I will update you on that and how it goes. I basically have till September to kind of get that as a passing mark. And it's been good, learning a lot. You know, I'm still staying smoke free, obviously, drink free as well, just living a clean life, working out in the gym. As of recently, I've been running miles after every workout. Running has never been my strength. When I work out, I would never do much cardio, but now after my regular weightlifting, I've implemented running a mile and improving my time as best as I can. And right now I'm running a mile at 10 minutes 44 seconds has been my fastest. Before that I was running it at 12 minutes. You know, I'm not the fastest runner, but I am seeing some progression slowly. I was watching some YouTubers over the summer. It was Ryan Trahan and his 50 States series. And I was watching him run his mile every day, and he was getting down to like 5 minutes, 6 minutes a mile at some days. And it's like, it's interesting to see the difference between like an athletic competitive runner versus a non-competitive runner and the times. So if I ever ran a 5-minute mile, I know I'm in some pretty good shape, but I'm not there yet. That's the truth. But yeah, anyways, that's about it. Enjoy the rest of the summer that's here. Let me know how things have been going with yourselves and your lives in the comment section down below. And I'm gonna continue on this day and just enjoy my birthday celebrations. You know, I'm gonna hit up Starbucks for my free gift. I'm gonna hit up McDonald's for my free fries. And I think I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day like kind of just doing some photography, enjoying some food, maybe watch a good movie. Nothing too big or crazy, but blessed and grateful for another year. See you guys next time.